Hey guys, so today we are going to be discussing some new information that obviously released today about Dragon Ball Super Superhero, the new movie coming out in 2022 for Dragon Ball Super. I apologize, this video is a little late. I was just super busy today with work stuff, but here we are. Obviously a lot of new information came out today, so we're going to go through that, and I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on sort of what came out. We did receive, I wouldn't really call it a trailer, but we did end up getting sort of like another teaser, sort of teaser trailer, not the full trailer, but like a teaser trailer of some of the stuff that's we can expect to see. This is the new visual poster that was present at New York Comic Con. So pretty interesting looking here. We obviously have Goku and Piccolo, and we finally do know the names of these two new characters, by the way, who seem like they're going to be like the main two. Not sure if they're villains, but definitely the I guess new featured characters in this movie. We have Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. Not anything too crazy in terms of creativity for the names, but that's sort of to be expected for Dragon Ball. It's very simple. The designs, though, I mean, you guys let me know if you like the designs of these characters. It's very interesting. I would say that when you compare them to other, sort of major characters we've gotten in the past, Frieza, Cell, Boo, I don't know, Baby, Hit, Jiren, like they're honestly, I would say, on the complex side. I mean, you have like the different colors, you have the cape, you have the helmet, you have the belt, like all this stuff. Like we don't typically see that level of design and detail for characters in Dragon Ball. Take a look at like Frieza, he's just very plain. Take a look at Jiren, he's very plain. So a lot of these characters that come out in the series, Dragon Ball, not that, complex in terms of design. I would actually argue these guys definitely look more complex than normal, but we don't even know like what their role is going to be in the movie yet. All we know is that they're going to be heavily involved with the series of events that transpire. So this is the poster. I mean, so we clearly have those two new characters. I'm actually really surprised to see Piccolo on here. Piccolo hasn't really been in the forefront of the series in a long time. Kind of got disrespected, I would say, in Dragon Ball Super, especially in the Tournament of Power, the way that he was eliminated from the tournament. Very disappointing. As a Piccolo fan, I am eagerly awaiting to see what he's going to do in this movie. But I quickly want to go through some of the images that they provided for us during the panel, and then we'll go through the trailer, and I'll sort of give my thoughts and opinions on what's happening in there. So first we have a new design for Dende. By the way, you can obviously see that he's way older in this picture. This film is going to take place before the end of Z, so before the 28th World Tournament, but after the events of Dragon Ball Super Broly. So the actually asked the one of the guys there, when does this movie exactly take place? Because we have the Granola arc going on right now in the manga, and that's sort of what I was wondering too, right? When this movie was first announced, like what are they actually going to do in terms of the timeline for this movie? Because we have the Moro arc that comes after the Tournament of Power. Then after the Moro arc, we have the Granola arc. So I'm assuming that this movie comes out after the Granola arc, but they specifically avoided answering that question because they said the Granola arc was ongoing and they didn't want to spoil that. But based on how Dende looks here, I'm going to infer that this movie takes place, like, I don't know, a few years before the end of Z, maybe like 1 to 3 years before the end of Z. Because honestly, we're already pretty close to the end of Z, so it can't be that far away. But that's my best guess, 1 to 3 years before the end of Z. And this is what Dende looks like, pretty cool. Next we have Bulma. Definitely looks a bit different. The hairstyle is a little bit different, outfit-wise. Kind of reminds me of Namek Bulma a little bit with the yellow. Not the same exact outfit, but color scheme-wise, definitely very reminiscent of the Namek saga. Interesting design that they went for Bulma there. Then we have Korin. So this is actually a design that they emphasized was directly drawn and designed by Toriyama himself. This is actually a character sheet that Toriyama provided to them. So that's something that they emphasized and what they were very proud of. So cool to see Korin coming back in the movie. I don't know how big of a role he'll have because he historically has not really had that much of a role after the events of original Dragon Ball. But if you can get into a few scenes in the movie, I'll be okay with that. I'm pretty happy with that. And then maybe we can also see Yajirobe pop in for a scene or two as well. We also do have the return of Broly. This is something that I really wanted to point out before we got into the actual trailer here. I know this image is not the best quality, but this is like one of the 3 frames in the trailer where we have actual, visual representation of Dragon Ball Super version of Broly here. So he is going to be confirmed returning in this movie. He's actually looks like he's sparring with Goku on Beerus's planet. And because of the timeline of this movie, and because we have Dende looking the way he does, because we have the Bulma looking the way she does here, I think it's safe to assume that this, this sparring session with Broly is happening, a year plus after the events of Dragon Ball Super Broly. So Goku and Broly should be pretty well acquainted by now. And I imagine we'll probably see a three-way sparring session with Goku, Broly, and Vegeta at some point. Because remember, this is Beerus's planet. Goku and Vegeta have been training on Beerus's planet pretty much throughout the course of Dragon Ball Super. So wouldn't be surprised to just see that transpiring, maybe in the beginning part of the movie before things get heated up. So with that, let's go ahead and start taking a look at the actual trailer here. I'm not going to actually play it, but we'll go through and see some of the scenes that happen here. So we got a new crisis, and the trailer starts like right away with a bunch of characters that we have never seen before in Dragon Ball, so we have no idea what's going on, but we can sort of infer what we can see here. I mean, these are all new characters, right? Like, I don't know, like, what are the best parallels I can draw here? Like, I don't know, young adult Cartman, we got Elvis, and Cyclops from X-Men. That's who they look like to me. So I don't know. We'll figure out who these characters are later. This is the same guy. Looks like he's just like in a different suits. I don't know what this H means. Yeah. Then we have them driving in a car. We have a chauffeur there. We have the same guy, and then we have some other guy in there as well. But there is an important scene that I do want to point out. Before we even get into anything else, I think there's one point that I definitely want to discuss before jumping into the actual plot elements of the movie and what's actually happening on the screen here. And that is the animation style. I've seen a very, very, very divided community today. Just initially, what I saw on social media and people saying, the movie doesn't look that good. I'm really upset that it's not traditional animation, blah, 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 blah. I will say two things. Number one, we're not going to be able to really judge the movie yet until we see more, because this is less than a minute long teaser trailer of the movie. You can get a feel for how the animation is going to be from this, but you can't really understand, and you definitely can't appreciate the effects that are going to happen, like in the battle scenes. Even like, maybe, I don't know, there's a scene where Piccolo is looking over like the landscape on a mountain. That could potentially look really nice in this animation style. I mean, back in the day, I want to say, I don't remember when this movie came out. I want to say early 2000s. There was an anime movie that was also fully CGI called Appleseed. This animation style really reminds me of that movie Appleseed. Actually looked really good for the time it came out. Again, I think it was early 2000s. But when I saw this, I immediately thought of that movie. And it actually looked really good for the time it came out, and people had no complaints about that. And it became a really famous movie and really well-received movie. And a lot of it was in parts of the animation style. So they are taking a really big risk with this movie, though, in terms of their decision to make the animation style full CGI, because the initial sort of reveal we got for the name of the movie, they hinted at it. They showed like a little teaser image of Goku, sort of like getting into the fighting pose in CGI, but they didn't specifically say that the whole movie would be in CGI. Well, now we know that the whole movie is going to be in CGI, and so this can either be really, really good for them and pay off really well, or it can be pretty bad, because you're presenting this medium for the movie that's much different than we're used to anything that's come out Dragon Ball related over the past 10 years, right? Dragon Ball Super, the whole entire anime, Dragon Ball Super Broly, Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, those were all works, I guess I call them works, that set a precedent for how modern day Dragon Ball is. You get the feeling, they're mostly based on battles, like they're all focused around certain fights. It's all about fighting. It's all about who's stronger than who. People are traveling through space. You get all this crazy stuff happening. Dragon Ball Super expanded the universe of Dragon Ball a lot. And now we're sort of going back to, I don't want to say the roots of the series, because I assume there's still going to be some Dragon Ball Super-esque moments in here. We already saw Broly in here. We already saw Beerus's planet, so I assume Beerus and Whis are going to be in here. But it's going to be, this is a pun, I guess, but more down to earth in terms of how this movie is going to play out, right? Should be less grand, I guess is the word, of a scale than we saw for Dragon Ball Super Broly. So that might turn some people off from the movie, which is understandable. I think this movie actually is probably not going to be for every Dragon Ball fan. I think certain people will like this. But this movie, the upside potential for this movie and for the decision to make the animation style the way they did is to attract a lot of new people to liking Dragon Ball and introduce them to the series. Because with a very different animation style that this has here, I actually feel that they can attract new people into liking the series. Maybe people who didn't, particularly care for the show beforehand, because it's always pretty much just been the same formula throughout this entire, existence of Dragon Ball. But now they're changing it up a bit, and I feel like that's like a decision that they made at the very top level. Whoever decided that would be a good idea. I don't think it would be Toriyama himself, but Ioku probably had a hand in this. And I guess they're going to see if it plays out for them. But let's go back to the trailer and sort of see how this plays out. So they're in the car. An evil organization moving in the shadows. And then, after this, we see a very interesting shot here. This is Mr. Elvis Presley himself. He's still alive. He's in the movie. Then we see Gamma 1 and 2 down here. So it looks like this is going to be the hideout of the evil organization. And it looks like they're targeting Goku. And, the thing quickly shifts over to Vegeta. You can see his name right here. And they're, Gamma 1 and 2 are still looking at the image there. And they look very menacing. Like, Goku does not look... This is Goku Black. This is not Goku. Like, they intentionally make the Goku and Vegeta look very intimidating and menacing. By the way, we got pink shirt Vegeta back, which is cool. Vegeta has not looked like this since, like, the Namek Saga or something. And then we have Boo as well. So it looks like it's just shuffling through a lot of the main cast of characters here. Again, Gamma 1 and 2 continue looking on, and look how they made Boo look. When does Boo look like this? I mean, I guess you look at that in the Majin Buu saga a few times, but that's it. Now we're back in the car. Looks like this guy's eating an Oreo or something. And we finally get the reveal. We got the double R on the cup, the RR. Red Ribbon Army is back, and it looks like they are the evil organization that they were referring to in the trailer there, or I guess teaser trailer. But yeah, I don't know what this H is supposed to stand for. I guess we'll find that out later. Alright, so then we have Rise Up Our Hero, and right after that it goes to Gamma 2, and let's just see here what else goes on. Then it goes to Pan. So it shows Pan, it shows sort of like a scene of her either powering up or focusing her ki on doing something, because it pans over to this, and there's a very brief glimpse of her. It's windy out. I don't know. I can't tell if this is the wind that's blowing her hair, if she's actually powering up into, potentially people are speculating she might go Super Saiyan. I don't personally think she will go Super Saiyan, but if she does, it will not be towards the very end of the movie. They would not make that a anticlimactic thing. The first ever female Super Saiyan we're going to see in a canon piece of work. This is definitely not going to be like an early part of the movie if that's what's happening here. Maybe she's learning how to fly or something at this point. Because remember, Pan is still very young, but she, assuming from what we've been told and what we've seen so far for the teaser images and teaser trailer here, it looks like she will play a major part in the movie. Then we have a nice scene of Goku. These shots are really good looking. See if I can get a better picture of Goku here. That's a pretty good one. That's a good picture. I mean, people are complaining about the animation, but this looks really good. I have no issues with this at all, and you could obviously tell this is on Beerus's planet, right? Then we have Piccolo getting, I guess, attacked by something here. He's meditating on this platform on Earth, and then he notices. But Piccolo, according to what we were told by Ioku, this is his house too. So he's meditating on the rock above his house. Piccolo has a big role in training Pan. So it looks like not only was Piccolo big into training Gohan, but now he's going to be training Pan as well. So Piccolo's sort of like the uncle that never gets old, I guess is what we can call him. And then continuing on from there, it looks like this is the scene where Goku is fighting and sparring against Broly. Let me see if I can actually find him. It's really tough. He only appears in like 1 or 2 frames. It's really hard to actually pinpoint him in here. But there, yeah, we can see him a little bit. There's his fist, and there's his head right there. Yeah, but this is, again, on Beerus's planet. They're sparring each other. That's pretty cool. So then we go back to Gamma 2, who it looks like he's attacking Piccolo. That's who it looks like he's attacking. Maybe it's just trailer trickery, but maybe not. Then we have a nice close-up of Piccolo. There's his eye, and then it pans over to the name of the movie, Dragon Ball Super Superhero, and that's where things end. And then Goku does the pose. This is like the last trailer that they, or the last teaser that they showed at the first initial reveal of what the movie was going to be called. And here's the final shot. And if you can see behind the 2022, we can actually see Hercule, aka Mr. Satan there, and it says Satan over here. So they are sort of shifting through all the main cast of characters. I guess what's happening here is Elvis is kind of like the head of the Red Ribbon Army at this point, or whatever this is. And we have Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, who are sort of like being trained to like take down these main cast of characters. I'm not sure what this one is over here. I'm assuming they're androids, because this is like, this thing right here is literally the same exact android pod that they used, Dr. Gero used to create 17, 18, and 16. And then I guess technically 13, 14, and 15 by the computer as well, but that's not canon. But to me, what I think is going to happen is these guys are both androids. Gamma 1 and 2 both come out of these pods that are attached to their number over here. And then they're sort of like programmed to eliminate whatever character shows up on here. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen. We don't know for sure. But these guys also do kind of look a little bit goofy as well, because this guy's like posing. Let's just play this really quick scene, right? Like, look at this Gamma 2 guy, right? He's like doing a pose right here, and then he like stops doing a pose. Like, if these guys are supposed to be villains, I could definitely see them taking more of like a not super serious route with how they handle their personalities. So that's pretty much the trailer here. Let me know down below what you guys think about that, and as well as everything else we talked about here. That's pretty much everything that they said as well. As soon as we get more information, I definitely will keep you guys updated on new things that transpire here. I think Jump Fest is probably the next time we'll get some new information, which should be in December. So we got about 2 more months before that comes out. But here we go. This is the teaser trailer sort of thing that we looked at here, all the new character designs and the new visual poster as well. Let me know what you think about Broly finally coming back. I mean, he was absent in both the Moro arc and the Granola arc in the manga so far. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm very excited to see what else comes out for this movie, because it looks really, really good in my opinion. And hope you guys enjoyed again. See you all in the next one.